So hi, my name is Theophilus, and I'm going to lead you through this session on application of Azure Computer Vision for optical character recognition service in extracting text for natural language processing. Let me just start off by some few introductions. As I said, my name is Theophilus Owiti, and I'm currently a machine learning practitioner, and also I also a Microsoft Land Gold Student Ambassador. And moving on straight to the session today, I just want to look at some of the tools that we'll be utilizing for this particular session. So we'll be using numerical Python for obviously numerical calculations and handling some few arrays. We'll also be using tools on Azure, tools such as Azure AI Vision, and in particular, we'll be using the optical character recognition. Excuse me. And we'll also be using pandas, which is a library that is really useful when it comes to handling different data frames of the same source without actually affecting the original source of the data. So together with pandas, I'll be using MongoDB. And in this case, MongoDB is a NoSQL database that provides storage for, it's mostly used for big data, and it's a good tool for even time series and other tasks involved around databases or data science. So other tools such as Visual Studio Code, Matplotlib, and scikit-learn will be used. And especially Jupyter Books is the main tool that we're going to use for this particular session today. I just want to demonstrate some things, and it will be mainly revolving around the k-means clustering algorithm. In this case, we'll try to identify texts that are related to a different cluster of texts that make up a group. Maybe it's a text related to a particular city, and we'll see this for one city that I'm going to apply for this example that we have today. So the tool that I'm going to use today is scikit-learn, that is going to provide us with the k-means algorithm under the clustering algorithms library contained in scikit-learn. So moving along to the next thing, let's get into perspective and talk about what Azure Computer Vision is. Obviously, Azure comes with several services. And we need to talk about Azure in terms of services that are related to machine learning. It is usually a really tiring task to get data from different or disparate sources and try to extract data from them. That's the text data from them. So it's important to use some of these tools provided by Azure, such as the Azure Computer Vision, which is part of the AI Vision service. And in particular, Azure AI Vision service it gives you access to advanced algorithms that help you extract text from images. And as we can see in the example, it talks about helping you use advanced algorithms that process images and return information based on the visual features that someone is interested in. In this case, we are interested in the handwritten text and the printed text from the PDFs. So to put this in perspective, we're not going to only use images, but we are also going to use PDFs in this particular section. And what Azure AI Vision gives you is the OCR image analysis phase and OCR actually, right? Now, under the optical character recognition, under Azure Computer Vision, we talk about the optical character service that extracts text from images, and PDFs mainly lie in the category of images in this case. You can use it. You can use the Read API to extract printed and handwritten text from photos. That is, and the particular algorithm used for this specific service is deep learning, and this algorithms are deep learning based models and work with text on various surfaces and backgrounds. And sorry about that. And we can talk about image analysis. Under image analysis, it does the work of extracting visual features from images that we have. For example, such as objects, faces, and things to do with maybe adult content that needs to be detected in different materials that we have. And when you talk about the face service that we have under Azure Computer Vision, the face service provides an AI algorithm that detects, recognizes, and analyzes the faces in images that are available, the faces of humans in images that are available. And facial recognition software is important in many applications, and Azure offers this for free. If we get another session, I'll talk about this in depth. But today we are focusing on using the optical character recognition. So yeah, so the goal of today is to create a k-means clustering algorithm. And in the intent of this exercise is to group related texts from various bases of text that we have, or the database that we're going to have in this case. And our database in this case for persistent storage will be MongoDB. And we'll use and discover several other libraries that we talked about. NLTK, we've not talked about NLTK, but you'll see how to use NLTK today. And so the particular libraries will help us to create, actually perform stemming and corpus. And this comes from the needed vocabularies that we have and the root words that are created during NLP processes. And so for stemming itself, we're talking about finding the root of different words that we have, and you'll see this in action as we go on. And for the corpus, it usually always consists of the vocabulary of words or the bag of words that we have and we want to use for a particular natural language processing task. Okay, switching on to the notebook that we have. The important libraries that we will need to import in order to, there are important libraries that we'd have to import in order to use them. And Python gives us the ability to do this in VS Code. So some extensions that you'd want to consider when starting your journey into creating notebooks in VS Code itself, you'd go ahead and go to extensions. And under extensions, you'd want to go ahead and look for something like Jupyter Notebook. So if you look at this, you just go ahead and type in Jupyter, and it's supposed to bring, the official version that is used by Microsoft, and this is the particular version that I tend to talk about mostly. And maybe if I click on it, so this is the official version for Jupyter Notebooks on VS Code. And so you want to go ahead and put this in. And for MongoDB today, we are going to use the extension to connect to our local instance. And so you go ahead and search for MongoDB and go for this particular extension, officially blue ticked by MongoDB. So you go ahead and just download this, and it will be part of your extensions in VS Code. Okay, so if we go further now into the real work that we have. So first of all, let me talk about the structure of my files. And if you look at the Explorer on the left side of my VS Code, let me just increase the size. Okay, so on this left side, I have different PDFs that I tested for this. And the particular notebook that you're going to use is this notebook. Make sure you have Python installed, and let me just shift over to the notebook. To reduce this, you can do that, and make sure you have Python installed. Because I'm using Windows, it will be advisable for someone using Linux, or in this case, if you're using other platforms that are not mentioned for obvious reasons, other platforms, maybe you're using Azure and Azure Machine Learning Studio, and you're in the notebook, you'd want to go ahead and replace the percentage sign with this exclamation mark. And because we are using Windows, we'd want to go ahead and put this percentage sign. Okay, so that's that, and you want to go ahead and hit this play button after choosing the particular Python version that you're going to use for this particular notebook. So the libraries that we're going to use for this session is pandas, NumPy, PyMongo, Azure Cognitive Services Visual Computer Vision, then Pillow, NLTK, and scikit-learn. So we talked about this previously. So the important thing that we want to look at is detecting the text first of all. So how to detect this text? You'd want to go over to your browser, and in your browser, open up portal.azure.com. So if you don't have access to Azure right now, you check in the link in the description below for Azure for Students in case you're a student, and get $100 free to use on Azure. If you're someone who is not currently a student, you can opt for the subscription and put in your credit card and start using Azure for free for the next, I think, about 6 to 12 months. Okay, let's get into it. So I'm going to go to my actual email and pop this up, and yeah, now we are in the Azure portal. So you'd want to go ahead and look for custom vision. So your dashboard will not be the same as mine, and not actually custom vision, but computer vision. So you're going to go ahead and say computer vision, and when you look at the choices that you're given, the particular choice for the service computer vision pops up. Sorry about that. And I already created a service for this, but I'm going to show you how to quickly create a service that you can use also. So let's wait for this to load a little bit, and yeah, it's done. So you're going to go ahead and maybe you can create a new resource group. So resource groups helps you to track all the resources that you're going to use for this particular, actually the resources that you use for different services. You know, you might have different services, but resource groups helps you track the related services or a group of services that you have. So you want to go ahead and choose a relevant resource that links up to what you're doing. And in this case, I had the resource NLP Python chosen. Then I'm going to go ahead and put a unique name, maybe escalator status or something like that, and choose the pricing tier. So I'm going to go ahead, maybe you can get the free tier. You can choose the free tier in your case, but I'm going to choose the standard one because I currently have access to the standard one. So I'm going to tick that in, and make sure you tick this box before pressing on review and create. And when you reach the point of review and creating, as you can see below, it's going to validate this and give us the create button. So let's wait a minute for it to complete. Yeah, so it's completed, and you want to go ahead and click on create. And after clicking on create, so I created this, I don't want to repeat the same thing. I'm just gonna go back to I don't know, maybe 2 steps back. Okay, that's a little bit slow, but yeah, this is the resource for computer vision that I have. So I'm just gonna click on that and wait for it to load. So what we are actually doing, we are creating a resource in order to get the different API keys. So the API keys that we have here are going to be used which are going to be used are this particular API keys. So we have the key here. You'd want to go ahead and take this and copy this, and also copy the endpoint that you have. So after copying the endpoint that you have, you'd want to go ahead and start using the Python SDK for this particular section. So let me go ahead and pop up back to this section of this small showcase. So we want to detect stuff, and we are going to use the Python SDK for computer vision under Azure. So you'd want to go ahead and import the necessary libraries that we have already installed using pip package manager for Python. And these are the particular packages that we are going to employ in this case of computer vision. And this is the computer vision client, the operation status codes just to get the status of our process. And we are also going to use the visual feature types and the cognitive services credentials just to authenticate us. So this is where the authentication comes in. So all these documents will be provided, I believe, in the link in the description, and they are part of the Azure AI Vision documentation under OCR. You can look at this specific code for local file usage. So we're gonna go ahead and just paste in the API key that is available. So paste in the API key, and also go ahead and paste in the endpoint that is from the resource, the endpoint that you copied from the particular resource. So all this code will go ahead and read the local files that we have. Remember, we have the local files under images. And so we're going to go ahead and go into images in our root folder and get the specific image name. So this is a function itself. I just created this function to extract images. So the image name and stuff. And we're going to go ahead and read the response and also get the operation ID for this particular operation that we are conducting, and also get the sentence list and append this different text that we have, and give out the detected text in terms of the sentence list that we have. So this is a really cool way of extracting text and getting text as an array from a document that initially you had to maybe convert it to a TXT or something, right? So follow along, and I want to show you something important. So before we continue with that, I'd suggest that you have MongoDB Compass installed on your computer. It is a GUI for MongoDB that will come together with MongoDB installed with it. So you want to go ahead and first of all connect to MongoDB. And I have the extension for MongoDB, so I'm just going to go ahead and press that. And the local connection is supposed to be this. And so, yeah, it's going to tell me I'm connected. So I want to show you something really important when we are conducting this session. So let's go ahead and go further into the code. So I have this particular PDF. It extracted the different sets of data that I had here. So I want to go ahead and also select another document, and this is the HCI group work 1 document. This is a PDF. It's actually one of the assignments that I've actually done. I did it a long time ago, and I loved the concept behind it and everything else. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's press on this button and wait for it to extract the particular text from this data. Okay, so that's the particular text that we have, and etc, and maybe we can get the length of the text. And just want to go ahead and do a len, maybe print the length of this text that we have extracted, right? and do a len for it, and len, then say text list, right? Okay, cool, and press on that, and we have 47 identified texts. And you want to go ahead and we installed PyMongo, so you go ahead and import the driver for MongoDB, that's the PyMongo, and put in this URL that you had here, this connection string. So if you look at this, I already connected this connection string just to look at whatever is happening. And so under this client, we have the client being created using the class from PyMongo, that's the Mongo client class. And we pass in this URI to create the particular client. So this client does the job of creating a database based on whatever is specified in the square brackets that we have. So under this, we'd go ahead and do the database creation, and also do something like, the collection for this, and the data set, and create the database itself. So this particular task checks if we have the database and creates the collection and outputs the data set that we have, right? So just to show you what I'm talking about, we have the text DB that was created, and the detect text document that has different collections, the collection for the documents that we have. And so, yeah, these are the 40 documents that we have here, and they are listed based on their IDs. So I'm going to go ahead and import NumPy and pandas and get the data frame and put the data set into this, and get all this data that we have in our database. We are going to import NLTK, the natural language toolkit for Python, and use it here to create a stem, import the stemma and the corpus that helps us identify stop words, and go ahead and append this stemmed text dataset items into the list that we have. And as you can see, some of the items that we have in this new list that contains the stemmed words are things like I am human too, and I believe, and happy, and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and go into scikit-learn and get the feature extraction library to help us bring in counter vectorizer. This is a vectorizer that will help us transform all the text data that we have. And we go ahead and now get the actual clustering algorithm from k-means. And so k-means will help us get the centroids that we have and fit in the x value that we have here, and append the k-means inertia that we have for this particular section. And you'd want to go ahead after running that and look at the particular output for the centroids that we have and the number of clusters that is available, right? And so we create the particular model that you want to use, and go ahead and get the top terms for each group in this case. And you can see in different clusters that we have the first cluster, the second cluster with different related groups of data. And so in this section that you have here, I want to test a particular item. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe detect the group that this belongs to. And this it belongs to group 5. So this is how group 5 looks like. And I talked about there's an item for Kisumu and stuff, and this city called Kisumu. The most related group to it, or the group of text that is related to it, is the text that relates to the PDF. Is the data gotten from PDF that stated Kisumu directly, and it clustered it with other items, and this is the specific group that it mostly relates to. And so even if I go ahead and maybe change this, and it may give us a group near it or a group that is the same, and so you find that it's still group number 5. And what does group number 5 entail? It actually starts with Kisumu, Oginga, or Dinga. So this is a street in Kisumu. This is there's something like a plaza. Yeah, there's a plaza here, and also other places that relate to Kisumu so much. So this is an example of how to use Python in clustering, and in particular use Azure to get all your data from PDFs, images extracted for you, put into the database. For example, the database I have here, and use this to create, something like a continuous integration and continuous delivery for your data for persistence if you are testing something or in the initial stages of trying to create a model. So thank you so much for this session, and I'd really love to welcome some questions. Thank you so much.